Greetings, I'm your host, Dr. Wolfula, with another entry of Wolfula News, an unscripted program where I cover the latest shit happening in the world of horror. Hopefully this will be the last Wolfula News before my giant-sized Halloween 2018 review finally drops. The video is more than halfway edited, almost there. If you're a patron, you can see a preview of the review in parts early as I edit the video. Part 2 is up now on Patreon. Part 1 and 2 together is 32 minutes total. If you're not a patron, don't worry. The full video will be up for everybody to watch here on YouTube, but when it's fucking totally done. So be patient, please. Anyway, in today's Wolfula News, I'll be covering the new Child's Play remake trailer that dropped, and I'll also talk a bit about the Swamp Thing show on DC Universe. Let's get to the first story.
Something's wrong with Chucky.
So yeah, new Child's Play remake trailer dropped today, really soon after the first trailer, I might add. And overall, I think this new trailer is much worse than the first trailer. Mostly because it just focuses right from the get-go, it seems, on Chucky being a scary, rarely seen killer doll. There isn't even a setup where, okay, we're introduced to Chucky and he's like a regular friendly old doll. Do we never see just Chucky in his like friendly form? Like, you don't even get to see Chucky, he's just in the box. Do we ever just get to see him as just a doll? I guess they're trying to save that for later, but we have seen glimpses of the doll versions. It just seems kind of weird to kind of hide the more benign version of Chucky and just sort of go straight to, I guess they ordered like a killer doll. Andy's mom just ordered this killer doll right from the get-go, causing the house to be all creepily lit. The trailer just goes straight to horror right away compared to the first trailer, which I feel transitioned a little better. The main thing that I gleaned from this current trailer is that the film is definitely leaning heavy on the smart doll angle. Chucky is just a full-on robot, but not only that, he's apparently got an app that lets him just control everything that is also a Caslin product. And he can fucking control like drones, cars, lawnmowers, and even Alexas that can apparently raise the temperature in a home to a dangerous degree. So this is some fucking next level futuristic shit. Like, Chucky is full on a Bluetooth magic doll, apparently. Like, he could just control everything. Like, he's like the hacker in Watch Dogs. I don't know about that. It's just a little too sci-fi for me. I guess it's kind of neat when remakes go in a different direction, but I feel like it makes Chucky a little too gimmicky. He's not just a killer doll anymore. He's a killer connected device. I don't know. It just feels like they could have made it a separate film that's totally original, that's not latched on to the pre-existing Child's Play franchise. You know, the best comparison is Small Soldiers, just R-rated and a total horror movie. But ultimately, my impression of the fact that Chucky is barely seen in these trailers is he's not just being hidden just to build up suspense to when he's revealed. I think he just looks bad. The renders we've seen of Chucky haven't looked all that great, but the renders look great compared to some of the brief glimpses we see of Chucky in this current trailer. Like, they don't match up at all. And I think the marketing is trying to hide the fact that Chucky probably does not look all that great. He probably looks really fucking silly. Honestly, he looks a lot more Lindsay Lohan-like, based on what I've seen. Hopefully, the effects are kind of straightened out and polished a bit more, but based on what I've seen, it just looks a little too cartoon character-like. Of course, the big news involving this new Chucky film is the fact that Mark Hamill is going to be playing Chucky. Now, I was kind of curious what he would sound like. I was kind of afraid he was going to sound like the Joker, but no, he sounds like Chucky.
Good night, Andy.
Like, if you didn't tell me Mark Hamill was voicing Chucky in this flick, I would have assumed it was Brad Dourif like always. It sounds a lot like Brad Dourif. It's not gonna be all that jarring and different, but at the same time, I don't see the point in recasting if it's just gonna sound the same way. I guess maybe it'll sound more childlike, I suppose? I don't know, it still sounds like a dude who smokes 10 packs a day. I don't know. At least it doesn't sound like Joker, I suppose. The trailer does give a few more details about Andy as a character in this film. He's definitely a lot older. He's really verging on being a teenager, actually, but it's revealed that Chucky is kind of like an emotional support doll, because Andy just moved into a new area. I guess his mom was like, okay, I need to give him a fucking friend. And apparently these buddy dolls, like, I guess are decent surrogate for a friend. I don't know, that's not gonna help matters, though. Like, he's gonna talk to a little robot doll? That's just creepy by itself. After watching this trailer, I just can't really buy Aubrey Plaza in a maternal role. I just don't buy her as the mom. She just comes off like she should be playing a bitchy spinster aunt. Also, it seems like this movie's setting up a sort of Stranger Things It kind of thing, where there's a group of kids that eventually team up and fight against Chucky. You know, I think they're trying to get into the trend of kids teaming up to fight some monster sort of thing that we've been seeing lately. I mean, this was produced by the producers of It. I guess audiences really like kids and horror stuff. But we'll see how this Child's Play remake shapes up in June, I guess. Let's move on to DC's Swamp Thing. Rumor has it that Swamp Thing, the upcoming DC Universe show, has been having production difficulties. Apparently production stopped totally at like the 11th episode, and they're kind of just scrapping the final few episodes and just trying to make a finale out of what they got, which is disappointing. Hopefully the finale they do make is satisfying, and hopefully this series isn't totally canceled from the get-go, but the series is still being made, just to let you know. Like, there's been some confusion, but the series is still coming out. It's not canceled, though the possibility of a second season is in doubt. And part of that has to do with, I suppose, DC Universe, the streaming app that DC has, struggling. But I think DC Universe has finally found its way as an app, because now they're adding all of their old DC comics, including comics that are a year old. So it's apparently going to be comparable to Marvel Unlimited, but at a better price, and it includes shows and movies. So I think it's really worth the price now if you're a DC fan and you want to read pretty much every DC comic at this point. You know, it's only missing some Vertigo stuff, but it's got pretty much everything, which is really nice. If you like DC Comics, check it out, and you also get some shows and movies. I really enjoyed Doom Patrol. It's worth checking out and supporting if you are a DC fan now. But the news of Swamp Thing's production halting coincided with an actual first look at Swamp Thing. This first look at Swamp Thing might have been dropped to ease concerns about the show potentially not making it. Hopefully that wasn't the case. Hopefully it was just a coincidence that it dropped around the same time. Things aren't looking so good for Swamp Thing, but Swamp Thing himself looks nice, really detailed. It actually looks a lot more authentic to the comics compared to the Wes Craven movie version. I also appreciate the nice touch that makes him look otherworldly with the red eyes, and I also feel like the swamp that the teaser shows looks really nice. It has this eerie atmosphere. It just feels like a horror show, and I really appreciate that. Lots and lots of fog. Oh boy, I love fog. I love it so much, yes. Well, hopefully even with the shorter run of episodes for Swamp Thing turns out to be a good horror superhero show overall. It's apparently coming out late next month, so I'm looking forward to it. Well, that's all the time I have left for this episode of Wolfula News. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the new Child's Play and Swamp Thing TV show. If you like this video, like it. But if you loved it, subscribe for more. Also, follow me on social media at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Finally, consider supporting me on Patreon. I've got some streams planned for this weekend for my Patreon supporters, so consider checking it out and giving me some support. Anyway, I've been Dr. Wolfula, signing out. See you next time.